Yes, thanks for joining us on the program, The Arena, where we meet to take on burning topical issues and matters facing us as a people in society. By the way, is independence. Nigeria at 65. Happy Independence, Nigeria. Okay, my name is Chris Anibuogo, and today on The Arena, coming to you on Aneke television, we're running a series of Nigeria's independence. It's 65 years of our political journey. How far have we come? How well have we gone? These are some of the issues on the lips of Nigerians. Today on the show, we want to take a look at a very critical and crucial sector because some analysts, pundits have described this sector as being the superstructure upon which every other sector falls upon. And we're talking about the political structure. So today on the program, we want to look at Nigeria 65, the political development and happenings as far as our country, Nigeria, is concerned till date. And to help us do justice to this matter is a regular on this show, a principal lecturer at the Institute of Management and Technology, IMT, here in Enugu, from the Department of Public Administration. Dr. Emeka Nwanze is here with us. Doc, it's a pleasure having you join us.
Great Nigerians, happy Independence Day.
And happy independence to you too, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's unleash the dish this day. If you go out there on the streets of Nigeria, I tell you, it's a mixed feelings, mixed reactions coming from the people. For some persons, it's independence celebration and it's worth celebrating. But for some others, they just do not even wish to talk about it. Maybe due to obvious economic situation in the country, people are not satisfied and all of that with our journey so far. But I don't know which side of the fence you may be sitting, Dr. Nwanze. So for you, Nigeria is 65 years. Are you satisfied with how much we've come so far as a people?
Let's go back in history because Karl Marx said for you to know what will happen, you must know what has happened. Nigeria has gone a long way in history that started 65 years ago. In Nigeria, last 65 years was when Nigeria was hosting, transferring Union Jack to green, white, green. That is our emergence of our independence from the British colonial masters. And since then, Nigeria have been on a journey. But I want to start by saying, if a man who is 65 and is not married, that man by normal ranking is not doing well. By 65, a man is supposed to be a grandfather. By 65, a woman is supposed to be great-grandmother. If things are working the way they ought to work.
All things being
and whatever you are seeing in Nigeria today is not just something that started today. It has been a cumulative of disappointments coming from the past leaders, coming from military dictatorship in the military era, transitioning to segments like First Republic, Second Republic. Then we are in Fourth Republic that have not been truncated since 1999. But I tell you the truth, instead of things becoming better, things will always come up from better to worse. And it's not supposed to be so. So what people are experiencing today is what we call post-independence disillusionment. They are disillusioned. They are disappointed. They are not happy. Things that are supposed to make them to be happy. I've been to places today. I went to hospital this morning with my wife for checkup. Even the nurses that are there, they say they are not celebrating independence. That what they are celebrating is New Month.
New Month?
Yes. And I asked a question. They said they are not from Nigeria. Because of what they said, Nigeria is not a place where you can be proud to say, I am from Nigeria. Because Nigeria have infested in them poverty and untold hardship in a grand style. And what happened? It's not as if Nigeria as a geopolitical zone or a geopolitical, natural, geographical place created by God himself is bad. But what I envisaged in their statement and the way they react to today's anniversary is that the leaders in the past, and with this, I don't know why the national anthem we use that says, let the heroes the labors of our heroes past not be in vain. That thing is very prophetic. And that national anthem that this current federal government changed is when they started getting what is happening now wrong and wrong. I am even moving emotion that that's our heroes past. That national anthem should be reinstated because of what?
Arise, O compatriots.
Yes, O compatriots. Where are the compatriots? We are talking of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. We are talking about Obafemi Awolowo. We are talking about Ahmadu Bello and Herbert Macaulay. These are the people that paid with their lives trying to agitate for self-governance, trying to tell the British people that these things you are doing is man's inhumanity to his fellow man, that we can do it ourselves. And at the end of the day, their agitations yielded fruit by the British government going and handing over power to Tafawa Balewa. Now Nigeria started with parliamentary system of government according to the British rule. You know, till today, British people are still practicing parliamentary system of government, where you have the head of state and the head of government. The prime minister is the head of state. The queen is the prime minister is head of government. The queen is the head of state. But it didn't work in Nigeria. And based on that, in 1979, which happened to be our first republic, we resorted to presidentialism. According to 1979 Constitution, it was federal system of government. In a federal system of government, according to American style, the president is the head, commander-in-chief, the head of state, the head of government, and commander-in-chief of the military, armed forces. But then, after 1979-83, military came back again. And what is their reason? Or what prompted their coming back is that the politicians, they were accused that 1983 election was masterminded by rigging and corruption in the high places. But when the military enters the government to correct the abnormalities, we still see corruption holding sway. We still see the things that they have accused politicians doing the same thing. Now, in 1999, to date, about 26 years back, we have entered into untruncated Fourth Republic in democratic grand style. And it started with not Shehu Shagari this time around, Olusegun Obasanjo, who used to be the first ever man to have been the president of this country in the military and in the civilian. Now, a lot of things. Economy, he touched on our economy, economic reforms. He touched on security. He touched on other things. Then the successors also came. Yar'Adua came and had his 7-point agenda, and in the process of those 7-point agenda, he kicked the bucket. You know, he surrendered to the cold hands of death. Then his successor, who is Jonathan Goodluck, also entered, and in 5 years could not do much. Started from where he stopped in the reforms, and by 2015 election, Jonathan was won by the late Buhari, and our economy became worse than ever before. That people will now say this Buhari regime on the calendar, and economy things rising cost of living became very high. Dollar per naira became high. House rent became high. A lot of things became high. And we are still trying to come from the coma of Buhari's government and administration. The current government now took over power. And on the day of inauguration, on 2023, May 29th, a lot of things, we would raise a lot of things. One is the withdrawal of fuel subsidy by the current federal government. And since then, the hardship now raised to power too. Now it became very, 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 do I call it, in geometrical progressions. That prices of commodities tripled. The prices of fuel from 200 naira rose to date 900, 800, depending on where you bought your own, and house rents, and school fees, and cost of feeding. The painter of Gary went up to there was a time it was sold for 3,250. Today it has come down, but it's coming down in 1,005. No, a bag of rice, I bought one this afternoon, it says 56,000 for 50 kg. But this rice in those days of Jonathan Goodluck, we buy it 12,000. we bought it 15,000. And it's not as if they are using dollars to get rice. So that Nigeria has ripe at 65 to have what we call economic emancipation. That's reliability of economic stay that will make the citizens well bettered. That will create a welfare state that will make people to say, if I travel outside the country, I will say, I am proud to be a Nigerian.
Nigerian. Well, what a lengthy, presentation there by Dr. Emeka Nwanze. Thank you for, taking us down memory lane, taking off from where we started as a people from 1960 when we gained our independence down to where we are currently in leadership. So, in a nutshell, we can take it from you that you are not satisfied with how far we've come so far politically. Right? You're not satisfied.
Sure.
Okay. So you're an academician. If you were to grade or give us a pass mark now, what will it be for you? A C, a B, or an A? Our political journey. How far have we come? If you're to grade
If I am to grade Nigeria,
yes,
in terms of grade, they are below average.
below
If you
average
like,
would be
in that grade, they have scored D, not C. D.
a D.
Yes.
Not an C.
Not C. Because C is relatively passed.
And that
if you
is-
score D in WAEC, in mathematics, or in English, you are coming back to write WAEC again.
That's near failure.
Have we ever stopped to ask ourselves, why is it that graduates don't have jobs here? Why is it that our graduates, Jabba, they fly out to make money outside this country?
In millions.
And when they make money outside in UK, in Canada, in US, and they come back here, if they're selling a bag of cement, 10,000 naira, they can buy 100 once. You know why? Because our naira is devalued. Our naira is devalued. And someone is in the position to make our naira to be valuable. Someone is in the position to make our naira to count. Someone is in the position to create a job that our youth will be busy. Someone is in the position to make, even if the youth are not working, that they can go home with something, a stipend, that they can call monthly allowances, as can be seen in other countries. Someone can go home if they are taxing citizens on every assize. The citizens that are being taxed should also feel very, very comforted that they are being taxed. If you are not being taxed directly, you are being taxed indirectly. So the citizens should be happy that I am a citizen of this country. I mean, all over the world, there is some economic, recess. But when we compare what is happening in other countries with that of Nigeria, you see that Nigeria is ranking according to world statistics. That is, do I call it international standard of measuring what is poor? Nigeria is ranking very, 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 is at the back. Why? Because our gross domestic product, GDP, is very, very low. Because GDP is measured in terms of per capita income. It is measured in terms of what do you produce. And we are talking of reliant on borrowing loans from multinational financial institutions, from other national institutions, and these loans are not expended in production. If it is not expended in production, it then means it is expended in consumption. It is expended in corruption. It is expended in someone else, individual interest or personal interest as against public interest. These are the reasons. Now, there are certain challenges that we may talk on this platform.
We'll come to those.
Yeah, so
we'll come to
these
that.
are the things. I'm talking my views. And I believe that what I'm talking, having talked to people outside there in the market, in the hospital, all over in Enugu before now, that they are not happy. And some say they are not celebrating. Some say they are not Nigerians. A lot of things. I mean, if you begin to interview them one after the other, you would still hear different views, different opinions. I think this is a high time the Nigerian leaders sit tight and ask a question. If I am 65 as a man and I'm not married, will I be counted as a responsible man? The answer is obviously no.
No.
In my village, in my town where I hail from, if you are 65 without marriage, they struck you off from what is, they will just see you as that you are that you cannot marry again. And if you are not married even in the economic and world standard, you are not responsible. What makes a man responsible is that he's married, he has children that he's accountable to. So Nigeria by 65 supposed to have what we call a stability economically. What we are suffering today, security, this and that. And I ask myself each time they say insecurity, insurgency, unknown gunmen, terrorism. In the north, you talk of Boko Harams. In the east here, you talk of unknown gunmen. In the west, you talk of other things. And I begin to ask a question that have not been answered. Is it that the terrorists, the unknown gunmen, the Boko Haram that don't have instrumentality legal of coercion, are they stronger than the Nigerian military, the Nigerian DSS, the Nigerian police that have what to call, do I call it, license legally occupation of instrumentality of coercion? If somebody that is not a policeman or an army is found with unlicensed gun, it is illegal according to Nigerian constitution. But these people it's like they are trying to weigh everybody down. And that is where I see that it is a political problem, which is part of Nigerian problem. It is political motivated problem that maybe a group of people somewhere are trying to kind of frustrate the effort of Nigeria in trying to make peace and security to become the order of the day in Nigeria. And if I am 65 today, by 65 in Polytechnic, you are so said to have retired if you're a lecturer. If you are not a lecturer, if you are in non-teaching, by 60, you are going home, as in normal civil service, or even in my school. If you are 60 and you are not a lecturer, you are going, as in you are due for retirement. Now, can we ask ourselves this question? By 65 today, we are supposed to become a kind of a consultant to other nations. There are other nations in Africa that Nigeria gained independence before. Like, let me just quickly say this before I forget. In the early 80s, Malaysia came to Nigeria and took our palm nuts and went to Malaysia and started doing palm plantation. Today, Malaysia is the highest producer of palm oil. They produce palm oil in different grand style. They use it to build what I call brake pads and clutches. They do a kind of recycling from palm oil, from pomade, from oil, from palm oil. From the palm kernels is used in doing some of this cake for supplements for animals. A lot of things that are being recycled. What is it not people that took it from us, that went and did it, and today they are #1 in terms of oil production in palm oil. So which means more or less, or in 70% of Nigerian problem from 1960 to date is more of leadership problem.
More of leadership problem, like the Nobel laureate, God bless it so, Chinua Achebe will write in his book, The Problem with Nigeria is Leadership. So he said, Dr. Wanze, I wouldn't know. We are looking at our political journey since 1965. Nigeria gained our independence in 1965. You've told us that you are not satisfied with our journey so far as a people. As well, you've also been able to grade our journey so far. A D is near failure. Let's look at the political systems that we have practiced as a people from 1960 till date. Just maybe our problem could be as a result of the system we practice. For some persons, they want to blame the military for ever coming into Nigerian political scene. Some others want to blame it upon colonialism, that the white men who came here never did us any good, that they came, captured our land, took over our resources, and at the end of the day, married the people that were not supposed to be married together just to satisfy their own interests, and then they left us on that note. You know what I mean? The amalgamation of Nigeria, bringing together of the southern and northern people together under one roof called Nigeria. So I wouldn't know. For a lot of people, They want to lay hands to different reasons why we are still struggling with our political journey as a people. So, but for you, I don't know. Would you want to blame our problems on colonialism? Do you want to blame it on militarism? Do you want to blame it? We once upon a time practiced parliamentary system of government. That was the First Republic, before the military struck. Now we are practicing an adopted system called presidential system, which we borrowed from the United States of America. But some others have equally looked critically at the system, the presidential system we are practicing, and says, we borrow from the US on the papers. But in terms of practice, we are not practicing what we actually copied from the United States, because what they do over there seems to be different from what we are doing here. In the US, the different states are responsible for their various resources.
Through federalism.
Through federalism. And they give back to the central government to take care of certain sectors like let's say the currency, the military, you understand, foreign relations. But then the subnationals, the states, are responsible for the development of their various places. Do you understand? If actually we borrow the presidential system of government from the US, how come here the central government in Nigeria is responsible for the resources, and then they give allocation back to the subnationals? So for you,
let me come in.
Where will you want to put the blame?
Let me
beginning from colonialism.
The greatest thing that happened to Nigeria is Nigerian colonialism.
Nigerian colonialism.
The British people are 100% better than Nigerians in terms of equity, in terms of good governance, in terms of truth table, in terms of integrity, in terms of resource explorations. Why do I say so?
Why do you say so?
If you see the houses that are built by the colonial master and the roads, you can compare them with the kind of junk roads that our contractors used to do today.
The one the British built while they were here with us?
Yes.
Okay.
The Trunk A Road, even the Milliken Hill, the Milliken is a name of one of the colonial master in those days that ruled in Enugu, and he was the person that masterminded the breaking of that hill. When they build something, they build bridge, they build it to the taste that it will last, to the taste that is going to serve for a long time. But give our people the contract to do it, they go for cheap labor in order to save money.
So are you blaming that on colonialism?
Now listen, Chris. Why I said some of the things we are saying, some of the things we discovered, some of the things before they are coming, we were wallowing in ignorance. Discovery of the petroleum that is do I call it? It was not discovered by an Igbo man or a Nigeria. It was discovered by Shell BP, which is a British company. What we are speaking now, is it our language? Look at the way you dress. They opened our eye, they gave us education. And they dropped a kind of a paradigm. They dropped a system that can run us and make us better. We undermine the system with corruption by having what we call do I call it selfish aggrandizement to enrich ourselves overnight. What the British people, why I say that they are the best thing that has happened to us, they are motivated by legacy. A legacy eternal. And people are motivated by selfish stomach infrastructures, selfish pockets. Now now look at, let me use this medium. There is no moral justification where Fubara could have been suspended. And the military, we said, is the worst form of democracy. A military man came to what? River State for 6 months. He has no moral justification. Where is a governor that was elected should be suspended for 6 months. And that is the reason why the lawyers in Nigeria were supposed to do their conference in River State by that August. They said that what came from the federal government to have suspended a sitting governor that was elected by the people is incongruent with natural justice, equity, and good conscience. And the Nigerian Bar Association cannot have a meeting in River State. I'll give you another example. Why should in our Senate, a particular senator, Natasha, was suspended for 6 months, even coming to resume office, become a problem? These are the problems we are suffering in Nigeria. And today, it is one party, a particular party will turn justice upside down. We are coming to reforms. You know, if we don't preach and go for strong institutions. Strong institutions. Nigeria will be in state of motion without moving. Now look at, I was just trying to read my phone. I was just looking at, you will see someone that may be appointed as the person that will succeed the former INEC chairman. It has not happened in that way before. For every sitting president will always appoint someone that is not from his own geopolitical zone for transparency, for equity, for good governance. Yes, but if I am a president of Igbo extraction and I appoint an independent INEC chairman from Igbo extraction, it is not fair. It has not happened in Nigeria before, and it's about to happen now. These are the things. I said the leadership is the problem. It's not about now. It's not about the.
It's not about the system.
It's not about the system. Now, let me shock you. If a bad driver who doesn't know how to drive enters in a new vehicle, he's bound to crash that vehicle. But except someone who is trained on how to drive handles the steering, he will drive, go out and park the car.
So it's not about the vehicle, it's about the driver.
It's about the driver.
What if the vehicle is faulty?
I say a brand new vehicle. I just say I didn't say a faulty vehicle. With a wrong driver, a person who doesn't know how to drive, that new vehicle must be clashed by that driver because he doesn't know how to drive.
How to drive.
So now, I'm moving a motion that our leader is supposed to be going to training on leadership. Not just trying to lead because I feel that I can lead. I feel that I can do it. And reorientation and the change of paradigm. Reorientation of our mindset. That Nigeria belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to any particular person. As I speak without fear and favor. I speak because I know that at the age of 50, I am supposed to tell the truth. And if I cannot tell the truth the way I am now,
somebody
once said,
and that's the reason why people are somebody in this country once said,
ashamed
if you say the truth, somebody once said,
I am willing to die if I say the truth.
Somebody said once upon a time that if you say the truth, you die. You don't tell the truth, you die. So he said, why not say the truth?
If you don't say the truth, you still die.
So on that note, we want to pause you now because we want to go on a quick short break. And when we return the conversation, we are not done yet because I think my producer has been able to secure enough time for us on this show. So we are going to look at a whole lot of issues, okay, and then maybe we'll conclude with the way forward for Nigeria. So for you, we are not where we should be politically, but for you again, it's not a problem of the system we practice. It could be parliamentary, it could be
it's a problem of who manages the system.
Could be whatever it is, but then it's not about these systems. Rather, it's about the people. So stay with us, dear viewer. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. Okay, good to have you return with us on the show. It is still the arena on Aneke television, and it is Independence, Nigeria Independence Special. And we're looking at our political journey in Nigeria. Dr. Wanz is still here with us, and then we want to continue with you, but then on a different direction now. Well, we've said we're not blaming our problems, our political problems, on the political systems we practice, because in comparative political analysis, you'll agree with me that the systems of government we've tried in this country that has not worked or not working seem to be working elsewhere. So what is the magic? But then we'll keep all of that aside. Dr. Emeka Wanze, as a people, the politics of divide and rule introduced by the colonial masters, where we had the eastern region, the western region, and the northern region left as a whole block. Some persons say it is part of our problem because we've not been able to overcome that ethnicity that is deeply and sharply dividing us as a people. For instance, the Igbo man sees himself as an Igbo man before seeing himself as a Nigerian. The man from the north sees himself as an Hausa man, a Fulani man, before seeing himself as a Nigerian. And the man from the west sees himself to be a Yoruba man first, before he even considers himself as a Nigerian. Is that not a problem? Isn't that a problem? Part of our problem. So that even if you have your brother from the north, from the east or west, in political position, whether he's capable, whether he has what it takes to be there or not, just because he's from your own ethnic nationality, you seem to be comfortable with it. Isn't that a problem? Ethnicity, tribalism, even religion.
There are so many indicators and indices of our Nigerian challenges
Go ahead,
and
sir.
problems.
Go ahead, sir.
Ethnicity is one of them. But even at that, if you're a Yoruba man and you have your own state to rule, you still show good example. We're talking about people that is leading, not the system. Ethnicity is one of it. But it's not, I'm not blaming it wholly on ethnicity. Why? If you assume leadership position as a Yoruba man leading Nigeria, or as an Hausa man leading Nigeria, as an Igbo man who have only ruled for 6 months in the military dictatorship, in democracy, an Igbo man have not assumed power, you show good exemplary leadership.
Are you sure about that? What about the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe as the president of Nigeria?
It's just a toothless bulldog.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that Nnamdi Azikiwe was not an executive president. The person that was executive president even then was Shehu Shagari, who is an Hausa man. So Nnamdi Azikiwe, remember that it was in the days of parliamentary system of government. The chief executive then was Tafawa Balewa.
Who was the prime minister?
Prime minister, that's chief executive.
Yeah.
In parliamentary system of government, which is working. That's why I say it's not the system we are practicing. The UK that all of us wants to go today is still in parliamentary system.
That's right.
The America that everybody wants to go and get their dollar is still in presidential system.
That's
and
right.
we have practiced the do, and it's not working. Which means that is why I will say it time and time again, even at a gunpoint, that it is not the system. It's about the people that operate the system. Now I was saying something about ethnicity. Yeah, good. Today, Sikh is known for one Nigeria.
That was his philosophy and
that's
ideology.
That if you are coming from the north, if you are coming from the east, if you are coming from the west, does not matter. What matters is he sees himself as a Nigeria, and Nigeria should be good. To Awolowo will say, I am first Ijabu, a Yoruba, before a Nigeria. This is a statement that is infested in tribalism. Am I communicating?
Go ahead.
Good. Then the northerners are also, when they assume power, they empower everybody from the north and other things and use it to build a hedge around their government. But I want to also say this, and say it loud, that Nigeria ethnicity is one of the problems. But I'm not blaming what is happening in Nigerian government today to be ethnicity. But also there's what we call asymmetrical, a kind of dissemination of powers in terms of inequality or disequilibrium. Now, I want to use this medium to say, if there's people that are disillusioned more than any other geopolitical unit in Nigeria, the Igbos are.
Is it because you're an Igbo man?
No. I'm talking as a Nigerian now, not as a detribalized Nigeria, not because I am an Igbo man. Even if the heavens will bear me witness that what I'm saying is nothing but the truth. You are wearing something that looks like white. Anybody that sees this white and say that it's black, either he has a vision problem or he doesn't want to stand on the truth because it is white. And it's apparently white. Now, look at the system of government from 1999. Let us forget about 1960 to 1999. We're talking about from 1999 and Fourth Republic.
Go ahead.
To date.
Go ahead.
The Hausa man have become a president in this country and vice president. That is repeatedly, that is as in reverse order, head, back. The Yoruba man has also been a president in this country from 1999 in a reverse order. That is, has been in reverse order as a vice president. But the Igbo extraction has not been even a vice president, not to talk of president.
But these are not the only ethnic nationalities we have in Nigeria. We have over how many other ethnic nationalities?
Good.
Must it always be the Hausa man, the Yoruba man, the Igbo man?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Pundit.
How many languages do we have that are kind of recognized in Nigeria today, as in 3 major languages?
Okay, 3 major you mean?
Yes.
Okay, who could say the Igbo, Hausa, and the Yoruba?
How many 3 major tribes too? Can you answer it?
That's exactly what I just said.
So if the 3 major languages that has been recognized, both national and international, and the 3 major tribes, both national and international, is Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. Why not the Igbo man? Yes. Now remember, 1967 cannot go unremembered about what has happened in terms of agitation from Ojukwu,
that led to the Civil War.
Led to the Civil War. It can't be swept under the carpet. Because some people are trying. You remember you mentioned the colonial people trying to model every tribe as one entity. And when somebody now discovered that maybe politically these things are not blending, and a particular group wants to become independent and trying to look for self-actualization, it didn't work. And the agitation is still ongoing as I speak. And that is the reason. Then if, like I said, if the agitation is not being noticed or it cannot be granted, let there be equilibrium in terms of sharing of the political powers, in terms of who gets what, when and how, in terms of who pilots the ships of the affairs of the Nigeria. Remember, in 2022, there is a very big problem that was coming from PDP. When they zoned the presidency to the south, they gave Atiku Abubakar the ticket. That is where the reign started. Assuming that the ticket was APC South, PDP, because these were the 2 notable political parties today.
PDP and the APC.
Yeah,
as
they
at
are
that
running
time.
as opposition, in reverse order. Yes, PDP, APC collected power from PDP. Then the South should be given the opportunity to raise a candidate in PDP. They still mounted a Northerner.
But the party said they were throwing it open.
So these are the
party said they left theirs open.
These are the complexities in the Nigerian political terrain since 1960 till now, and it's not making any progress for us. Now, if you are given an opportunity to become the president of this country, whether you are from north or south or east, what I'm saying, what I'm praying, what I'm propagating, what I am trying to say is that find a way to begin to harness the things that have gone wrong, because there are so many things that needed to be addressed. If we don't say it, this discussion we have not.
Let's have it. Go ahead, talk.
Now, in this country, you mentioned U.S., that things are not working the way in presidential system of government in U.S. is not because, one, in U.S. they are practicing what we call physical or true federalism, where the state harnesses the resources that are coming from them and pay a stipend to the center. True federalism, you talk of devolution of powers. You talk of where the state have the power to even produce a state police, harness the resources that are coming from them and pay a stipend to the center. It's part of what will heal our indifferences and our disequilibrium.
Now you're proffering solution
Yes.
on the way forward.
Yes.
So go ahead, sir.
Now, I want to also preach for strong institutions. If I
Strong
need
institutions.
strong institutions, reforms, because this is where the problem comes. If you say independent National Electoral Commission, independent means they should be free from control from the executive. They should be free from control from politicians. They should be free from control from anything that will not make them to be independent. And independence should become independent, not be independent and at the same time dependent. Because another election is coming as I speak. And if whoever that will come Nigerian independent electoral chairman is not independent indeed, I will tell you before now, before 2027 election, that the election has been has been coward, has been polluted before the election. Because there are certain indicators that will make something to be free and fair. If I'm running a governor of Enugu State tomorrow, and you are from Natch, and I, as the governor being seated, appoints you from Natch to become independent electoral umpire in that election, the thing have started cowering. I have started blowing a whistle for what? On free and fair. These are the things. Then also, we are talking of insecurity. Most of our brothers that stays in UK and other part of this country are afraid of coming. They are afraid of their shadows when they come to Nigeria. Why? Because of insecurity. Then the government, whether state or federal, even local government, should have purported attempt to beef the security apparatuses in Enugu, in Nigeria.
Nigeria as a whole.
As a whole.
We have about a minute to go now.
Now, we should beef the security. Now, in terms of social infrastructure, you cannot talk of a country that is happy or that is developed without existing some basic necessities of life, which should be made available for the citizens. I'll talk of good roads, pipe bomb waters, cottage hospitals, and even general hospitals. Then when I talk of strong institutions, there should be independence of judiciary. Not a judiciary that is controlled by the state. Or judiciary that is, when I mean state here, not just state as a constituency, state as national. Because the hope of the common man is the judiciary. And if the judiciary is coming out with fear that they could be polluted or that they could be bought over by whichever phenomenon, then they will not dispense justice without fear or favor.
Dr. Aneke,
whatever they dispense must have been a kind of control by unseen hands.
We want to appreciate you, sir, for your time with us on this show. The problem, the discussion around Nigerian political, problems will never end in just a one-off program like this. So we are going to keep running it in series from time to time, and we hope you avail us your time when we call on you, sir. You've been very resourceful on the show. You've been able to identify where the problems lie, and you've been able to give a clear-cut way forward for us as a country. Well, it's not about the system we practice, according to Dr. Aneke Nwanze on the arena today. It's as a result of our mindset, the people themselves. Because today it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu who is the president. Tomorrow it could be anyone else. So we need to change our mindset. We need to make our institutions stronger, more independent. And he has said a lot. So can we please practice what we preach? Until come your way again, it is Happy Independence, Nigeria. My name is Chris Anibogo.